moment of truth. The one-man debate is comedy, more cathartic than tragedy. Why this topic? This little woman, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, keeps winning, keeps laughing. And she argues that it's the best way to entertain audiences is to make them laugh until they cry. Now, Japanese, perhaps they say, no way did they laugh until you cry or cry until you laugh. That might be more appropriate for the sentiment of the Japanese, by and large. So let's discuss this. Should put the comedy ahead of the tragedy. Let the debate begin. Rock affirmative. Time proves it. Julia Louis-Dreyfus proves it. The logic proves it. Why logic? Psycho-immunology, I mean the psycho-neuroimmunologically speaking, laughter is the best medicine, like Norman Cousin, who died when he was old, before he found another young woman. It shows that he was alive and kicking until he breathed his last, meaning the laughing goes a long way toward healing your injured egos, injured souls. And Dreyfus, Julia is only 58, only or just 58. And she won Mark Twain Prize for American humor. And he keeps funny. He gives you what you might call kansai funny jokes. He received the Mark Twain's prize, and I learned that the first time he has already been dead. He's been dead. He gets a lot of laughs, you know. And this is how she makes other people laugh until they cry. So the laughing prolong your life. Longevity comes from sharing laughter, sharing joy of life. Negative wins. Negative cross-examines affirmative. Affirmative says the time says is time so big? Does the time say no or flatly? No, I doubt that. The time doesn't say that, to be exact. A woman called Molly Ball. Molly Ball is the person time trusts. Therefore, something worth its salt. And you said Julia. Julia who? Never heard of. Julia has story, history behind. That's why he deserves to get on the cover of Time magazine. And to be more specific about her, well, she's a comedian who keeps winning. The Time says that the triumph in comedy, queen of comedy. So she's worth her salt. And you use the word logic. What kind of logic is that? Logic of medical science. If you laugh, that you'll be able to use it as medicine to improve your immunity. So it says who? Norman Cousin, the brilliant scholar. He said, if you laugh, you'll be able to develop your immunity, hence healthy longevity. Rock negative, we negative asserts Greek tragedy also heals, or heals more. Look, Israel and Palestine leaders heal others by making their followers weep. Americans pick the leaders who make people laugh, but those down there in the Middle East, Africans, and Jews and Arabs pick the leaders who make their followers weep. So that's the perfect example of a catharsis. They're playing a long game. Mokubakan's tear-jerking also heals. That's why I keep coming to Mokubakan. Watch the Giri Ninjo dramas. You know, it makes you cry. Sometimes I cry like a baby. Crying a male tears, otoko no namida, male tears. And Israelis and Palestinians, partly because of the fact they suffered a lot, they know how to make other people weep as a means of improving immunity, how can I say, catharsis, so you can feel better. Good for your soul. Why? Because it's a soulful experience. When affirmative, negative keeps saying that tragedy heals your soul, injured egos. But didn't Greeks also laugh? Oh, yes. Aristophanes, even Dante's comedy Inferno, divine comedy, makes people laugh. Well, but in the end, laugh. But before they get to tears, you know, they have to go through a lot of ups and downs and turns and twists before you get to laughter. That comes at the very end. You said long game or wrong game, long game or wrong game. It's a long game. It's a wrong game. It's a tragedy that doesn't help as much as laughter. Tragedy lasts longer. Yeah, I give you that. But comedy gives you comic relief between tragic events, between breaks. You have comic relief that gives you cold comfort. It's how can I say, the moment of transient relief. Cold comfort, comic relief. Wish I knew how to translate comic relief. Perhaps Horieko would help me out on this. Does crying develop immunity? Yes. Crying also develops immunity. But laughter, well, yes, to a certain extent. But both crying, both tears and laughter help develop immunity. It depends on how. I can give you more of that, but time is up. Fire family, I'm on fire. Fire with the comedians. Julia makes people laugh until they cry. And let me remind you of a woman called Lorena Bobbitt, a familiar name. Everyone knows her name, the family name in the United States. She was only 24. Good-looking woman from South America, Central America rather. And she cut off the penis of her husband. Good-looking couple. And they became big news all over the United States. about the woman who cut off the penis of her husband. The same thing happens in Japan. This is the case called Abe Sada Jiken. A woman who cut off the penis of a man with worldwide news. The difference, Americans made comedy, made jokes about it. In Japan, people try away not to touch that issue, you know. It's a horrendous tragedy. But to make the matter worse, Abe said that woman who cut off the penis of her husband, she loved so much. She treasured the penis, spent most of her life, the rest of her life, treasuring the penis she cut off. Now that was a tragedy. It gives you the creeps, you know, weird story. But in America, people made jokes about it. And a lot of people all over across the United States making jokes about cut off penis. They have all statements is cut above the crowd, cut above the crowd. Everyone enjoys laughing at it. I can imagine, see how anchor persons explaining this with a smile on their faces, you know. This could happen in the United States, meaning the laughter heals your injured soul. The people, oh, weird, you know. The creepy story can be turned into stock of laughter, you know. It's not a laughing matter, but still people laugh it away, so to speak. Fire negative, let me place the devil's advocate against Matsumoto's affirmative. His ideas are slightly tainted, slanted toward sadism, but in the United States, this case is sharply divided among women who aghast, women who cringe at the grimly news, yet men enjoy talking about it. The women really hate to hear that. The sharply divided. Now I'm on the side of the women, the negative. This isn't a laughing matter. Like in Japan, the same egregious incident occurred in Japan, Abe Sada. Yet people did not make jokes about it. This is Japan. It's a tragedy. Keep tragedy tragic. Don't make it comical. This is Japan. It's not the United States. So that the laughing doesn't heal. Laughing, you know, further aggravate the situation, adding salt to the wound, adding fuel to the fire. So I'm deadly against affirmatives, accusation, the method of making jokes, horrible jokes about the women's tragedy. But the fact, as it turned out in the United States, opinions are sharply divided about masochists, sadists, and men and women. I can't imagine, but there are the women really hate men and men hate women. So both are guilty in the United States. Water nearly. Let's go with the flow. Flow like water, emptying into the big ocean. And they're going to argue to forget it. Yeah, but never forgive that. The fact the crime occurred, it's unpardonable. It's beyond sin, it is a crime. And so the power of revenge, power of resentment works. But there are moments when you have to keep it in the back of your mind. So the tragedy works much better because the tragedy keep it in, you know, in mind, and hoping that you're going to put it away. However, negative argues that comedy heals it. You keep on doing this, making jokes about it, the puns on the people like Larry King, David Letterman, all the anchor persons talking about it, laughing, that hurt this woman. Lorena Bobbitt. When she did it, she was only 24, and she keeps tormenting herself. Every time she hears these people making jokes about the cut off penis, and she feels injured. Don't repeat tragedy. Two wrongs don't make a right. Please. Water affirmative. Let's cleanse our souls by wrapping up as gracefully as possible. The affirmative argues that forgive and forget. That's a beautiful way of living your life. Laughter is the best medicine. It has a rejuvenating power and immunity. Comedy than tragedy, you know, even before you die. And your friends and relatives gather around your dead body, and some people joke about it. And when you go to the gallows, you know, we've got a gallows joke. Before you die, you make something that makes other people laugh, you know, gallows jokes. And so, you know, even the laughter, even before you breathe the last, works, and it's everlasting. So when you're in a green mood, sometimes the laughing works to cleanse your soul and body sometimes. So laughing works. はい、判定に入ります。最後のところですね。私はこのね、シナリオは否定にしたかったんですよね。私もどちらかと言ったら、浅草行くときは、今日は笑いか泣きかって、その立ち止まったときはね、ものすごく傷ついたときは僕ばかり選び、笑いがない、ほとんどない、泣きです。それでほっと癒されるんですけども、しかし普通の人ってやっぱり笑いの方が多いようですね。アメリカの場合はそんなに暗いんですよ。暗いから彼女みたいなジュリアっていうのは暗いですよね。もう破壊的ですよ。タイムの T を落としちゃってるんですよ。こんだけ破壊的なことも笑いで止めるということは、そんだけ世の中暗くなってきたんですよ、皆さん。私もね、本当に暗くなって金がなかったらどうしようかなと思う時はね、笑いに変えた方が長生きできるような感じします。やっぱり一般的に笑い、わずかの違いだけども、今日は肯定が勝ち、笑いなんくるないさ、Michihiro Matsumoto known as Channel Tokyo Japan。